So right now I want to talk about the difference between living in an objective reality versus living in a subjective reality. And this is very, very important you understand this, guys, because right now, everywhere in the world, not just here where I am, right? Everywhere in the world, you got half of the people, or at least half of the people, who are living in a subjective reality where everything is subjective depending on how they feel about it emotionally, what's going on in their mind, their thoughts, their personal biases, versus people who are living in an objective reality, whereas they're just living in reality detached from their emotions, detached from their personal biases, and detached from their own, thoughts about it. Because when you live in an objective reality, what you see is exactly what it is, right? You're not trying to color it with your emotions. You're not trying to color it with your own personal biases. Speaking of color, look at this Eiffel Tower behind me. Isn't this great? It's like lighting up like a popsicle behind me. Over here in Vegas, by the way. But yeah, it's lighting up like a popsicle. It looks awesome. When you're living in an objective reality, you see reality, even when it looks ugly, for exactly how it is, right? That's reality. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 4 plus 4 equals 8. And you can't change that. It's not subject to personal bias. It's not subject to interpretation. That's what it is. Okay? But when you're living in a subjective reality, for many people, they don't want to see. They don't want to see reality because, again, it's often too harsh. The truth is often not nice. Truth is often something you don't want to hear. It's a bit ugly. This is why a lot of people don't like to weigh themselves, right? Why do people don't like to weigh, especially women? They don't want to weigh themselves because they don't want to see how much they actually weigh, because it will make them feel bad if they were to see the truth. So they tell themselves, even though they're not stepping on the scale, I only weigh this much, okay? I'm not 200 pounds. I'm only 125. I feel like I'm only 125. And they just want to continue with that subjective reality. Even though if they did step on the scale and it hit 200, they're like, oh my God, it would make them feel bad. So right now we have half of the world out there living in this subjective reality that's really, really based on their own emotions, personal biases, and their own narcissistic viewpoints versus what actually is. I consider myself a realist. I want to live in as much of reality, no matter how ugly, as possible, because not only will it protect me, because I'm not trying to color the facts with my own, personal viewpoints. I see it for what it is, especially when it comes to crime. I know there's crime out there. I know people getting carjacked. I know there's smash and grabs in certain areas. I'm not going to color that or try to ignore it or try to, play mental gymnastics in my head to act like it's not happening or it's, it's just a passing thing. It's like, no, man, it's happening. It's dangerous. And I ain't going out there to certain parts because I don't want to become a statistic. So I try to be as realistic as possible. I mean, especially even with myself. I find too that most entrepreneurs, right, especially most business owners like myself, are forced to be realists just by default because we have to deal with numbers. We have to deal with payroll. We have to make sure we keep our employees employed and, everyone's getting paid. And we have to be real with ourselves if there's an aspect of our business that starts to fail, that starts to decline. We have to be quick to look at that and pinpoint the exact problem and immediately reverse it and immediately fix it. But we cannot fix it or overcome it if we are coloring it with our emotions and going, no, it's fine. It's, or like blame shifting, which a lot of people live in subjective realities do. They blame shift and just blame everyone but themselves, right? Because that's what makes them feel good. It's very weak. It's very cowardly. It's very pussy-like. But when you're a realist, you just, you don't do that. You're like, hey, I'll take it like a man. We're sucking. We need to fix this. This right here is the problem, and we need to fix it ASAP. There's no time for emotions. There's no time for any biases, and there's no time for, any bullshit here. We need to do something about this. like right now, right? No matter how bad it makes us feel temporarily, we're willing to, deal with it because we have to. Our business depends on it. Our livelihood depends on it. So I find that most business owners and entrepreneurs are very objective when it comes to facts and living in reality. We see things as they are, not as we would like them to be. And that is an important point I want to make about people who live in a subjective reality. They don't see things as they are. They see things as they would like them to be. And I see the left doing this repeatedly, right? Especially in like when I see some of these like YouTube interviews, for example, or anywhere where they actually get a leftist to actually sit down. This is why they don't like to debate, by the way. I'm not on either side of the political fence. I'm, pretty much in the middle. But I will say this. I find the right to be more willing and open to debate and have dialogue than I do the left. The left very rarely wants to show up to these interviews. They very rarely want to debate. And when they do, they always want to do something where it's like 5 people like ganging up on one person on the right. It's always like this mismatch. Like they're always like ganging up on one person. It's like very rare they'll do a one-on-one because they know they can't win there, right? Because they're arguing based on their emotions, which is subjective, versus based on reality, which is factual, right? Objective. So when I see some of these interviews, and the rare times I've seen like a leftist come and sit, or somebody who's woke for that matter, which is the same thing these days, they'll ask the person, like the last one I saw was hilarious, because anytime they ask like a leftist, like, what's your definition of a man? They'll be like, well, depends what you mean. It's like, what? Dude, you can't describe what a man is? They'll go into this very subjective speech. Like, well, it can mean many things these days. Okay? Being a man can mean that, and then they'll even pause because they won't know how to answer it. They're constantly dancing around the question. Why? Because they're living in this subjective reality that's based on their emotions, and really their emotions are coloring everything. They're afraid to offend anyone, and they just can't be truthful. They can't be honest. This is why I don't trust leftists. I don't trust them with anything. I don't trust them to run the government. I don't trust them to make the laws. I don't trust them to run these corporations. I don't trust them to teach my kids. I don't have any kids, but I don't trust them to do that. I don't trust them at all because they're dishonest. They can't even be honest with themselves, especially about things that are very, very obvious. Right? They have to color everything as subjective, even when it's objective. Right? Even if you told them, like, what's 2 plus 2? Well, historically, it's been 4. However, now, these days, with advances in, progression and, culture and everything and gender pronouns, it doesn't have to be 4. You could feel like it's 8, 17. Why not? Who says it has to be 4? They'll make some crazy ass statements like that and really kind of like gaslight you. Right? They'll gaslight you and make you feel like you're living in crazy town. Whereas if you ask a man, like somebody who's living in an objective reality, what's your definition of a man? You just be like, well, first off, you got a penis. You've got some balls. How about that? Second off, you got an Adam's apple. Thirdly, you have more upper body strength. 4, you have a deeper voice. 5, you have more testosterone. 6, you're more masculine. You could just go on and on about what a man is. You could go into the ethics of being a man. You have honor, you have morals, you have, compassion, you're strong, you're a leader. A provider, you get things done. You could go on and on about this. You don't sit there and go, well, depends on how you define a man. A lot of these leftists, a lot of these woke asses like get on these interviews and go, it depends how you define man. It's like, dude, really? Really? So, yeah, it's insane because, again, you have half of the nation right now that are actually being encouraged, believe it or not, they're being encouraged to be more subjective about reality. And you see it everywhere, right? See it all over television. You see it in movies. You see it likely at your job too, that want to pull you into this very subjective reality that is really based on emotion, personal biases, and at the end of the day, just to get down to brass tacks, is based on fulfilling a social narrative to really destroy the patriarchy, destroy, men, destroy and remove fathers from homes. I mean, really, that's what's at the end of it, is this plain old Marxism, son. That's how it starts. Right? Read your history. If I didn't end up being an entrepreneur, I would have been a history teacher, right? But that's how this all starts, right? And for all you folks who love Marxism and communism and all that, 100 million people dead. Not very good statistics there. 100 million people dead. Well, that wasn't true. Marxism wasn't true. Communism. It's like, why would you even want to try any aspect of that, right? Why would you even want to try to fix that instead of just demolish that system completely and not have anything to do with it? Because everybody I've met who's lived in that type of environment has escaped it, and they've usually escaped to a free country like this one, at least somewhat free right now. I mean, right now it's being turned into crazy town thanks to people who want to live in a subjective reality versus an objective reality, right? People want to believe that there's 1,000 different genders. There's not, right? I don't see 1,000 different genders walking out there. I see male or female. That's what I see. But as always, guys, drop your comments below. Anything I might have missed, feel free to share below. Anything you'd like to add, feel free to share below in the comments. I always love to see you guys in my comments. I always love to read them. Always humorous, entertaining, so drop those comments below. As always, this is Matt Cross from AlphaMaleSecrets. Do not forget to smash that like button below. Go ahead and smash it right now. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so that you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on my YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton when you actually subscribe to my channel, so please make sure you're subscribed to the AlphaMaleSecrets channel as well. And for all of you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content even further, the best way to do that is by becoming a premium subscriber of my premium AlphaMaleSecrets channel, which I am hosting on a private platform. And the reason I'm doing that is to protect my premium content from YouTube in the event they try to shut me down one day because they don't like what I am teaching you guys. Okay, and that is the absolute best way to support my work. And right now it's only $1, who can't afford $1, for the entire first month of premium AlphaMaleSecrets coaching lessons from me. So take advantage of it. And again, this is the best way to support me, support my work, and show that you love what I am doing here. Okay, so it's really easy to get signed up. Just click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video. I'm out. Over here from Vegas, got an excellent view from my hotel room. We've got the, let's see if I can share this with you guys. Got the Eiffel Tower right here, and they've got the fountains on over at Bellagio. There's Bellagio in the distance right there. There's a Cosmopolitan. Got the Aria in the background. Obviously the Paris Hotel. There's Planet Hollywood, and just here for another month of enjoyment, excitement. Need to get out of the city every once in a while, so I just kind of escape here. It's only a few hours from LA, and I usually get a pretty kick-ass room, even during busy time like right now. It's pretty busy out there on the Strip, so got a pretty decent view for booking a last-minute trip. But there you go. There you have it. If you've never been to Vegas, you've got to come out and experience it. It's awesome. And I love sharing this with you guys. So until next time.